Another CGC scandal. This time it's from the inside. We're going into the void. What's up?
What a fucking mess.
Better late than never, she says. Happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome to the Paper Chase channel, where if you're on time, you're early. And missed everybody. It's been a slow week, but get ready because we got some hot tea to sip on tonight together. How is everybody doing? My brother's from another cover to my right.
Oh, hey, I'm good, dude. Look, everybody, I apologize. We almost just had like this weird mic situation. My mic that's been fine all 27 episodes just crapped out on me. My cool microphone right here. Hey, you. But yeah, it crapped out on me. So we were trying to do some damage control. So I apologize. It related. Of course, it was me.
All good.
Yeah.
All good. Let's look at the chat before we dive into the craziness here.
I'm excited. I don't know what the
me too.
craziness is. I'm really excited.
And keep this in mind going forward. Rev has no idea of what we're about to talk about. So the news will be news to him. We got Plagueis in the house. Thank you, sir. How you doing? Always here. As well as Zim Man.
Hell yeah, what's up?
Yeah, Mr. Zim. FNT, fingers and toes. Good to see you. We missed you. Joe Saldana's in the house. How are you doing? It was a great start. A bumpy ride's always a fun one. We got the New Orleans Jester baseball team, all 43 of them in the house.
I was waiting for the show to start.
The show. Emily's in the house. What's going on, Em? Good to see you. And our buddy Jono Silva.
There he is.
What's up, buddy?
All right. So look, first of all, fingers and toes and Emily, they will be in the NOLA in a few days because
will they really?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. But you know what? Out there in internet world, we may be on borrowed time because at any moment tonight and for the next hour or so, Crystal could walk in that room and say, "Yo, it's go time," because Johnny G here is very soon to have a baby. We're talking days, if not hours.
We're talking, yeah. We're talking minute. Claus in the house. What's up, buddy? Yeah. So if I peace out at any second, it's because I'm I'm having a child. Well, I'm not having it. My fiance Crystal's having it, and I'm just going to be there to support her. But yeah, baby on the way. We're very, very excited, and can't wait. So if you haven't seen many videos or a video this week, well, that's why. That and getting ready for this Comic-Con in a couple of months. But super thrilled. First Comic-Con, yep. First baby. Looking forward to all of it. First marriage.
Wow,
a lot of firsts. It is a big year, for sure. For sure. Thank you, guys. And look, my name's on the screen. You see that? Paper Chase Comics, aka John. I don't really give my name out. If you go to the first video ever on the channel, I say my name in it, but I just don't ever give my name out. But that's it. In case anybody was not wanting to call me Paper or Chase or Comics. But you can call me either. You can call me AKA if you want to. You can also call me ...
What's up, PCC? How about that one?
Yeah, PCC. Mm-hmm.
You know what I call you.
Yep. Honey.
No. Passion Panda. Come on.
Passion Panda.
I don't mind.
Thank you, Joe. Name the kid Megacon. Close. That's funny. Close. His name's gonna be. Do I say the kid's name? Ooh, I don't know. That's.
I don't think you do.
I'm not gonna say his name yet. No, not yet. I just gave my name. You gotta
give. It's gotta be like a contest of some sort where you kind of like guess the baby's name and then drop hints. You know.
Yes, and let me say this real quick before we get into the podcast. The greatest thing you could do to help any video on this channel is to hit the like button. So if you haven't yet, please hit the like button. It will help push the stream out and support the channel, bring more people into the conversation, which is always great and fun.
especially since I screwed up and not even like I didn't get a minute, man. The very first second of the damn podcast, I said the word fuck. So now that's the rule. We broke the rule.
Yes.
I broke immediately, and you're not supposed to curse, and I did. Oh well.
I would just say, what would you grade the baby? I would say definitely very fine. He's gonna be very fine.
Well, this sounds like a little scandal here, because how do you grade the baby before you actually have the baby? That doesn't sound legal. You can't grade the baby before you have the baby. So
you're right. I feel
true. Like it's a segue.
So check it. Oh, and okay. So all right. We're getting into this scandal here. We're gonna also revisit one of my older videos on the channel that could have some connection or correlation, we'll say, with the new scandal. So has everybody heard? Sound off in the chat if you know about the new scandal with CGC, and just have you not heard about it? Because Rev has not heard about it yet, but we're gonna dive in.
Is yet another scandal? I mean, like what happened to all the damage control? They're like, "We've got you, boo. We got you. We're gonna take care of you." And all of a sudden, we're gonna have more scandals.
Yep. Yeah, we got another one. This one, like I said, this one's and obviously by the thumbnail by Paul Lesko. And I'm gonna pull up his Twitter. We're gonna try to navigate through that. I think I've got the bullet points of the scandal down, kind of. So, and we can just kind of break it apart. But I'm not super savvy when it comes to Twitter and X, as they call it. So we'll try to like X. It was Twitter. Now it's called X.
I never can like talk to somebody and say, "Hey, I saw an X." It immediately thinks they think, and I think that we're talking porn. I mean, it's just a porn speak. You can't throw X in front of anything, like
yes,
porn. Hey, I was looking up, so and so an X, and they're like, and then I'm like, not Twitter. You can't do it. I mean, maybe I'm just a scumbag. I don't know, but I still say Twitter when I want to talk to
I typically I stay away from Twitter. I only got one literally so I can pull it up on the screen here. So I'll probably delete it after. So Plagueis knows the couple.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for sharing that. Get off the stream. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know the scandal. I'm waiting patiently here like everybody else.
Yes. All right. So check it out. We're going to open this new screen here.
Let's do it.
And here we go. All right.
On here.
So again, forgive me. I don't know how to navigate this thing. I'm going to try to give you the bullet points here. But from my understanding, Paul Lesko, correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm open to corrections. Might be a lawyer or have something to do with law. He knows about law, legalities, and also maybe the collecting world. And something was brought to his attention. Because I believe if a case or a suit is happening, I do believe it's public. It's supposed to be public knowledge. Again, please correct me if I'm wrong. So Mr. Paul Lesko here got notified that the CGC is now filing a lawsuit against two individuals for tampering and collusion and scandal within their two employees within the system that they have there. And he pretty much released most of the details on his Twitter page today. And keep in mind, Rev, he was so shocked he left. Keep in mind that this does not have any connection to the previous CGC scandal with the case reholdering, the one that 9.9 uncovered. So there's no connection yet. So this new connection here is two CGC employees, okay? And let's see if we can pull up one of these things here. Did you hear all that, Rev? I didn't even get your reaction because you froze.
No, I froze.
You froze? But you didn't hear?
I'm going to try and detective through this a little bit and sleuth my way through. Something about a lawyer, and I don't want to hold everybody up, but there's a lawyer who was snooping around, gumshoeing, and caught something.
So from my understanding, I've never heard of Paul Lesko before today, but from my understanding, he has something to do with law and also collectibles. So he was notified on his Twitter and posted this information on Twitter about CGC filing a lawsuit against 2 previous employees. And then the employees' names is made public now. But it is Brandon and Ayana Terrazas.
Shame.
So they're the people that was stealing. And again, we're going to dive into it. But that's one of the things that we're doing. So CGC has this lawsuit filed. And basically what I've gathered is that these people here, one was a grader. Brandon was a grader. And Ayana worked in the eBay department. Again, please correct me if I'm wrong. If the eBay department does not mean CGC is selling books with their own eBay account. What that means is eBay has a policy that if somebody buys something, they have a guarantee, with them as well. So if they want to authenticate that, they send that to CGC. CGC says, yes, this is a CGC book, a graded book. In the case, we encapsulated this. It is verified, so there you go. It's proven for the buyer. That's my understanding of it. So she worked for that portion of the company. And there were multiple things that this couple did that involved them stealing from the company and stealing from us, the graders, or the submitters rather. And and Brandon was a grader. So one of the things that were let me try to.
You think this made their love life better? Like they go home and lay around in a bed full of CGC books.
CGC. I was gonna say it. I was gonna say that. I don't know what the deal is about slander on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care. I mean, okay.
I mean, sure. I mean, I don't care either, but I do care about slander and lawsuits and getting shut down. I just don't know what the deal is. If somebody wants to inform me,
I didn't say they were doing it. I said, do you think possibly they were?
Do you think possibly? Okay, I got you.
And we can have maybe possibly fan fiction about it if you want. There might be a little.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Some fan fiction, some fan fiction.
I can't thank you. I can't look. See, that's where we complete. I can't. What they had to have been like. She had to have been like, or he had to have been like, oh, honey, that's so hot that you found a way to scam people out of their comic books. Take me, stud. There had to have been there had to be something, unless, I don't know, maybe they're sitting on the sofa eating Takis and drinking Mountain Dew. I don't know. Something hot came from this.
Yes. So so these 2 people were obviously caught. The lawsuit's in place. They've put a restraining order against them. So they have acted quickly to try to completely stop him from peddling and selling anything else, right? Now, from my understanding, they got caught from. He's been an employee. I think they said May of 20, or he's been under investigation.
Jesus.
Since May of 2023. So keep that in mind, and we'll get into the other stuff with the previous scandal too. But he's been under investigation since May of 2023. So that kind of answers a few questions for us, doesn't it? Like, one, does CGC have a asset protection program? Which is something that Crystal brought up, my fiance. When I told her this whole thing, she was like, where's asset protection at? And I'm like, well, what the hell is that? I don't even know what that is. So she educated me on what asset protection is. And they are basically, one of the things that they would do would be to try to fish out anybody in the company that might be doing stuff like this. So apparently mid last year, they did have an asset protection program. And I don't know if y'all remember, mid last year, all of a sudden CGC said, hey, we're photographing every book now. I don't know if y'all remember that. So they said that, and that was kind of out of the blue and kind of unusual. So it does lead me to the questions like, well, did they all of a sudden get this asset protection program and then see the foresight of all the shady shit that was going on? And they're like, okay, we need to make these changes now. This is coming up. So kind of a question there.
Are they trying to pin everything on these 2 people? Are they, or are they just saying, okay, all right? No.
And you're talking about with the other reholder scam, the Mark Jewelers and stuff, right? Is that what you're asking?
I'm just wondering, like I said, I mean, I just feel like the whole company is rife with corruption now. I mean, there's or because like I said, somebody's going to be the fall guy. Somebody's going to be the scapegoat. I mean, how far does it actually go up? Again, I mean, really, what are we talking about here? We're talking about, slabbing comic books, but okay,
well,
so
it's millions of dollars.
Yeah,
So he there is currently no connection between the two scams. These are two separate things.
Okay.
But like I'm theorizing that maybe they installed some sort of asset protection program late in the game when they started the company. They should have had something like this in play. And so they got this company in play, and then they start doing all this poking around and investigating. And then they're like, hey, these people might be stealing from the inside. Hey, this person's scamming from the outside. And then they're like, okay, we need a tidy up ship here, tidy up shop. And so that might be why they started saying, hey, we're going to photograph every single comic that gets graded, which was not something I think that was offered beforehand. So the person, after they were caught, I think admitted to stealing 23 books is what he said. So we all know that there's more. Of course he stole more. And he sold, let me see. And if you know more of these details, please sound off in the chat rather than me fishing through Twitter for all this stuff. Again, I'm not good at this, but I believe he had a dollar amount. Yikes. That was, yeah. So here's what they were doing. They were stealing customers' books. Because remember, one was a grader. They were stealing customers' books and selling them. They were printing fake labels. So if he stole your book, he got your book graded, or if he graded it, submitted it through the system. And actually, I think he used an alias to submit it through. I think he submitted it through somebody else. I don't think, because I think he's a grader. That should also be noted. If you're a CGC grader, you cannot deal in CGC graded collectibles. You cannot sell CGC comics. And then you only can submit, I think you get 20 free submissions a year for if you want to get your own personal books graded.
I thought it was 24.
24?
I don't know. Why 23?
No. I don't know. No. 20. 20.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So there's stipulations and there's limits to what they can do, right? Mm-hmm. But he would grade certain books, and the books that he graded, if he didn't like the grade, he would print out another label, and he would swap, and he would print out a label. And I'm guessing him being in the headquarters of CGC, I guess he could just switch the label out or whatever. So that's another thing that they were doing.
I wonder how intense the security system is there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was very clandestine, how they're walking around, putting books on desks and moving them around, like in the spy movies and things like that. I really want it to be like that. But I mean, it probably wasn't. They're probably just in there on a Saturday, eating bologna sandwiches and making comic books. I mean, I don't know. I wonder what the security is like there. I mean, right. He's printing up the 9.8s or the 10s or whatever he's doing and flipping them into books and selling them. I mean, it just waters the market down, like that whole Spawn thing a year or so ago. All those Spawn books that guy had, that were supposed to be rare, and then he had 48 of them. Just waters the market.
Here you go. So Paul says here, I'm starting to kind of okay. So the best cliff notes are in his tweets. For 7 of the stolen comic books, Brandon was unsatisfied with the grade actually received. So he swapped in duplicates of CGC branded labels with higher grades. Yeah, crazy. A part of the alleged scheme, Brandon took customer submitted comic books and discarded the book's CGC graded wrapping and barcodes. He'd then submit the stolen comic books for grading and then sell the comic books on eBay or at trade shows, where he got $26,895. So yeah.
I rescind my former statement. This is big money. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Crazy, man.
So question. So these books belong to somebody else. So what do they do? Is this like a Ponzi scheme where you just kind of keep selling at the top and taking money from the bottom? What do you do? Oh, hey, sorry, Spider-Man's still being graded 10 months later. Is that what was going on? Or they just wait for CGC to pretend it messed it up and then they give them the insurance money or something?
Right. Yeah. So I think CGC, certain books he would steal and they would get reported lost or stolen. And CGC would just file the claim under their insurance saying like, hey, a book was lost, but this guy was actually stealing them, keeping them, resubmitting them. And then if they came through and he didn't like the grade, he would print a new label. He was fucking the system 3 ways from Sunday, like multiple ways.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me think about that one.
So that pisses me off, dude. Like we'll look at an older video I have on queue of my own that it's like only a section of it we're gonna look at, but it's like, was this the shit that was going on? Like, what the hell's like? Well, you're talking about stealing from me. Now my ears are even more perked. That's crazy. Like for somebody to work at CGC, and it sucks because, I had this image in my head of CGC employees that these people do this job because they really love comics and they love just being around them, right? Majority of them probably do, but you're gonna have some bad eggs that slip through the cracks.
Always. Every job has somebody who's doing something wrong. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like this person that got in. I mean, dude, like the ramifications of doing this, you're stealing from fellow, your community. You're jeopardizing the integrity of a system that is very important to the community. It's wrong on so many levels, and it basically comes down to vetting. CGC needs to make sure they don't hire psychopaths or narcissists or whatever to grade books, because how can you do something like this and fucking sleep at night? It's crazy. And there's no honor in that. There's no pride in that. Like for me, whenever I submit a book and I get a certain grade, like I've always said, I love that I earn that grade.
Yeah.
You want to just print out a label of what you think the book is. Like that's basically what this dude was doing, was printing out a label of what he thought the grade should be, and then switching it out on the case. Like,
But his wife was the eBay person though, and he was the grader, or he was like the grade inspector or something like that. He was
a grader.
Okay. So why didn't he just grade them at 9.8? He would have to have gotten the books at the back end too. Grade the book 9.8 and then like walked around the building and come back and grabbed them on the way out the door,
so apparently he stole some of the books, I guess, that he was grading, I guess. I don't know.
Look, the reality is this. I mean, like if you're a small business, okay, look, you own your business, I own my business. And like I said, that when you start a business, there's growing pains, always, you know what I'm saying? And then you start with a small infrastructure and you build infrastructure and you get better and you better get better. Or you fail and you go out of business. So as you grow, you need to kind of watch out for your own business and how you're doing things. When you hire people, actually, what I was talking to you about this morning, when I saw him in person on the job, that was awesome. When you get employees, things start to change. It's no longer just your idea. It's like your idea imparted into somebody else, and they have to then follow your mission statement. And you have to trust them to do it. But as CGC grows, and look, they've been around now. Listen, they're making money. Obviously, they're also covered by insurance and things like that. So, I wonder what is an acceptable loss. Like why would they not have like? And again, I'm not blaming them. I don't know the people who own CGC, but I mean, like, it just seems like you could have solved this. Even what they're saying, Joe Saldana said, like, just put a Ring camera someplace. I mean, it seems like you could have like maybe prevented some of this. And maybe you could, but it just seems like this company is now so rife with problems that Zim said like this right here, 100%. Like
how are we
supposed to trust the system now? Zim is 100% right in saying that, because we all look at CGC as the benchmark of a grading system, but look, CBCS isn't having this problem. The other companies aren't having this problem.
They're not, but they're not unscathed though. See, it's not like CBCS has not had problems. CBCS has definitely had problems. CBCS was sending comic books to graders' houses to get graded during COVID because they couldn't show up. Like that is such a no-no. Like, what the hell are you doing? You're sending my books to somebody's house to get graded? Like, that's crazy. So CGC is definitely, like I've always said, it's like the football team that's just, each team is getting the ball and dropping it and fumble it. And just when you think the other one has it, they drop it and fumble it. Yeah. CGC has definitely got more fumbles, more turnovers on the records now than CBCS, bigger ones as well. But CBCS is not perfect either. But no, you're right to trust the system. Absolutely. I do feel like it's something that, was kind of in the back of my head. You kind of wonder, you kind of know the nature of people, and you know that a system, very few systems are perfect. So you kind of know, like, is there some fuckery going on at hand the entire time? But it just it sucks to see it, actually play out. And of course, now you question, okay, well, what is real and what is, not when it comes to CGC? Because this does put a lot of things in question. The only thing that you can really do is say, okay, and what's crazy is that, remember the price drop? They just dropped their prices. When was it?
Well, I mean, no, we don't know, because you haven't sent any books off, and I haven't sent any books off, because they made an
announcement.
What is it? What did the price drop down to?
I don't remember. It's on certain tiers. But they went ahead. The moral of the story is they went ahead and was like, hey, prices are lower now. Mm-hmm. How you like that? Because they saw this shit coming. They're like, this is going to get out. Lower prices.
But that makes me feel like, and hear me out here, that makes me feel like when a restaurant's struggling for business, a once reputable restaurant struggles for business, then they say, like, oh, Friday lunch deals, or like extended happy hours. It sounds like they're possibly reeling a little bit, and I don't know. But I mean, when you have a thing that you're able to, you would honestly think that they would charge more because of the stuff that they're going through, saying, like, we need to charge more for higher security. They're actually saying they're going to charge less. Now, I knew the problem was before that they had really long wait times, and then everybody in the world said, like, why do you have a long wait time? Because this doesn't make any sense. They're just books. Look at them, grade them, get them out. And then they sped up, and then, well, I mean, so John, how long do you think that your book should disappear for? Like, if you had your Spider-Man 300, how long should it be gone for? 5 months? Well, I had my 68 Fantastic Four was gone for 10 months, man.
Yeah, no, I understand, but you have to realize the moment of time that we're talking about here with the long wait times has not been existent for a year. And I'm not like, this is a separate conversation, and CGC sucks right now, right? We all know that. We're talking about a separate situation. CGC went through a drought of like, hey, we can't get your books back to you within 4 months, right? That was because CGC saw a demand that they were not prepared for. There was an influx in the entire collecting community that they were not prepared for. And I've said in other videos that advocate for third-party grading, not just CGC, all third-party grading. A comic book is one of the most difficult things to grade. It is not like a card. It's not like a stamp. It's not like, it's multiple pages. There's multiple ways of grading a comic book, multiple things you have to look at. It's going to take time. If you want it to be done correctly, it has to take time. And the fact that it was taking that much time when they were flooded with only one facility for grading absolutely makes sense. And I'm glad it took time, because that means they weren't just 9.4, 9.2, 9.6, like that had to take time. What's going on now that they can actually get stuff moving in and out, the quality control, obviously, and the security is a whole separate issue. But yeah, but their whole grading time was not, there's nothing wrong with that.
So look, again, and please, I love and respect you, the power of 1,000 suns. Please understand that, yes. But again, like, reaching into your business acumen, like if somebody, okay, everybody, I'll tell you, I own a pool company, a swimming pool company. If somebody all of a sudden said, well, all right, Kevin, I'm going to give you 500 pools. I want you to do them. I'm going to say, okay, cool. And then I'm not going to change my system. No, that's not how.
No, they did. They built a whole new facility.
That's fine, but then they didn't absorb correctly, and then they're all shucksing it, saying we didn't have the people. And then what I'm saying is, like, so the wave of the comic book boom that happened, we're all going to say 2020, 2021. That's fine,
right?
The wave went super high and then plateaued. Okay, and then, like, it had to have been, like, I literally just keep seeing those movies in my mind where, like, all these guys have, like, these, like, Vegas scams where all of a sudden they're, like, montaging them making money and the little money countering thing, and that was happening, but they had no progressive plan for the future. So they built this facility, not what they didn't anticipate, the bust after the boom. I mean, anybody else could have. I mean, like, you certainly predicted it. I was just watching it, and then the bust happened, and then all of a sudden they're reeling with this extra big warehouse, I guess. And by the way, I'm speculating. I mean, obviously, but I mean, then all of a sudden, hey, we're gonna do you guys right. We're gonna speed these times up. We're gonna be better about this, But on the heel of all this, now all this crumbling of the infrastructure, this scandal kind of going on and things like that, and you wonder, like, what is the value of what I got? And then on top of all that, let me just take lift up the blinders and do the whole emperor has no clothes thing. What really is better about CGC than CBCS? I will tell you, the fucking label looks better. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if the label for CBCS had looked better from the get, it would be just as fine. Like, and so we look at CGC and say, like, that's the preeminent one. And I look at the two, and I don't know the difference in the quality other than the label for CBCS looks stupid. That's really it for me. Honestly, man, it's hard to be an idiot, but there we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's unpack that, right? What is better about CGC than CBCS? Well, it depends on at what point in time you're looking at. If you're looking at today, obviously things have slightly changed. But CBCS, let me tell you what has sucked about CBCS. And again, I'm not advocating. I actually like CBCS's new label. I didn't at first when I first saw it. It's because it was a shitty picture. And then I actually saw some good photos of some labels and some good books in those labels underneath them. And I actually like their label a lot now. The problem is that, and it's not a problem, it's just the reality of the situation. CGC was first in the third-party comic book grading company. And also they had the better label, right? CBCS came behind them with the shittier label. CGC has the high ground, so the market adjusts to CGC. When it comes to let's take even collectors out of it. Let's talk about just dealers themselves, people dealing comic books and grading comic books for resale purposes. CGC owns the market, even after all of their faults and failures. CGC owns the market for comic grading. It is. You can look at tons of sales. They will all, and that is one of the things why somebody is looking at the two, like how you're saying, like when you look at them side by side, what is better? The money is better underneath a CGC label. The label used to be better. Now, in my personal opinion, the labels are about what and what. I kind of like them. I kind of like the new CBCS label. The security is better at CBCS. The case is better at CBCS. The customer service is better at CGC, which is huge. I've had terrible CBCS customer service. I've had wonderful CGC customer service. So that's comparing the two together, and that's kind of where we're at. I don't know. Sound off in the chat. Actually, what's the chat saying?
Wait, I'll just try to actually find the label real quick, but maybe you can find it faster than me, and I'll just go ahead and chat it up here.
Was that the new label?
I think we should show it. I mean, you should show it. I mean, here we go. Let's go on. Let's go. The label that you're talking about, and I know CBCS has new labels, and quite frankly, I'm thrilled with myself by being able to say that so quickly. CBCS. Isn't there another one out there that I don't know? Like, there's a few more.
GX. There's a few
and things like that. I mean, but so here's also what happens. Like, listen, you're grading books for collectors. So collectors want to have a series of things. So I'm not going to, on my back wall, I'm not going to have CGC, and then all of a sudden CBS. It's just like when people who don't like Androids and iPhone text messaging, just, I don't know why you guys are all weird, but they don't want the Android in there. So then all of a sudden, like, what are you going to do? So people like you and I are waiting for CGC to get their shit together, and we're going to start sending books back in. Because we're not going to patronize the other ones just because we don't want to go out of sequence with what we're doing. It's weird.
Well,
I get it. I'm that guy. I'm doing it because CBCS isn't on my radar to go send my books to. But I mean, like, I'm sitting here complaining about something I'm clearly going to go spend money on again. So I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but I'm just wondering, as a layperson, like what are we demanding? Are they just going to?
No. You're 100% right. We're looking at the situation. We're thinking it out in person. We're evaluating like our options here. And the truth is that CBCS label is fucking good. Honestly, if I did not know anything about market, and I was just coming into the community and I was like, okay, boom, here's your two labels. I would probably pick the CBCS label. Because I just think it looks great. I think it was smart how they did it. How if you were to incorporate a CBCS label into your CGC collection, It's not going to stick out like a sore thumb anymore. It looks similar enough to where it's going to fit in, because a lot of collectors are, anal and detail oriented with how shit looks. So I really do like it a lot. But again, when it comes to resale value, when it comes to customer service is huge. Actually, today I'm not going to go on this tangent. I literally left one fast food place today. I was in a bind to get some food. I literally left because they had no fucking hand towels, no soap, no hand sanitizer. And I was like, dude, you have nothing stocked here. I'm in a rush to get some fucking food and go to my next job. You have nothing like literally stocked here. I'm leaving. One across the street to another place. Like customer service is huge. We all know that. We all know that. And CBCS is fucking sucks, dude. But now we have security to worry about with CGC. We have that guarantee, which is the biggest thing to worry about with CGC.
Security, and meaning like our books. Again, like I said, I joked around with you before. I mean, we all know that I have a very awesome 9.8 X-Men 234 with Wolverine on the cover, Mark Silvestri, and the book was beautiful when I gave it to him. And it comes back 9.8. But it's definitely been crinkled in the spine. So I'm just like, it's just like it's just so weird. Like the whole thing is just bizarre to me. I mean, like, what if we were? So you're not going to go to CBCS because you think the customer service is good, better at CGC, and I get that. But did you just have one bad experience? Is that going to like mar you for the lifetime? Whatever fast food restaurant you went to today, which one was it?
Oh, I went to I left McDonald's to go to Wendy's.
Okay, cool. It's probably the better decision anyway. But Square burgers always win. But the point is, are you never going to go to McDonald's ever again?
No, I'm not.
You're not going to go to that dirty ass McDonald's ever again. You
right.
know? I mean, like I get that. So you're going to like mark that place off your list because whoever manages it doesn't do a good job. They let the bathroom get dirty.
Correct.
The floors are slippery where you can't actually push the bathroom door open because you're sliding around like Wile E. Coyote, like blah, blah, blah. So I get that, but you're not going to not eat McDonald's. So the CBCS scenario where you had one bad incident, but everything else you like, it makes you wonder. Like,
I don't like the market either, though, because I do care about my book's value. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I agree. I do care about my book's value, and I don't like the market. There's only one book I'm thinking about sending to CBCS, and that's that one right there. First Doctor Doom. And you know the reason why? Because CBCS, I can't wait to hug my son like that. So the only reason why is because CBCS will grade that Fantastic Four number 5, First Doctor Doom, is complete, but the centerfold's detached, right? So CGC, if the book is fucked up enough, for lack of a better term, CGC will grade all the way to a 0.5, but give you the blue label. But now CGC will also grade incomplete copies with a blue label 0.5. But CBCS will give you a 1.0. As long as the book is complete, you will stay at a 1.0. So now I'm forced with, do I send my book to CBCS, which now I do like their label better, get the 1.0?
But be less valued because it's CBCS.
But it's going up a half a grade point.
But it means nothing. Okay, I get what you're saying. But this is also the crux of the problem with us as people. We're just gonna go ahead and say like, well, why can't it be rated the same? Why can't it be a universal grading scale? Again, like we're never going to change it, but it should be like almost like a universal grading scale where we say like, okay, that a 1.0 is a 1.0 for any company. And what if this is like the ultimate universe where all these companies are actually in collusion with each other? And
No, I don't think they will. I mean, maybe eventually it'll get to that. But I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. Third party grading is not something that is it's close to being monopolized, but not yet. There will always be other grading companies that say, hey, we can do it better, we can do it more secure.
It's also going to be like Bitcoin, John, where it's going to be like the Lorax, where the very last trupula tree gets cut down. I mean, like with all these old silver and golden age books being like slabbed over and over and over again. At some point, like we joked about like a couple months ago, there's going to be the very last collection of them all. the very last collection to be had. And I think that that's the same thing here. At some point, everybody's going to put plastic on all of their very valuable books. And we're going to be like, what's left to slab? Nothing. Yeah. We're going to just start slabbing moderns. I mean, like, I remember looking a couple months ago and whatnot, and there was like a book that had just come out. And it was like slabbed. I'm like, why would you slab it? What's the point of that?
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. So Joe says, yeah, CBCS customer service blows. I feel like I'm calling a third world country. No thanks. Yeah, I'm with you on that. And what's crazy is, right, when you dissect like why we like CGC for the customer service over CBCS is because there's a human quality to their customer service. So there is something about feeling like a person has possession of my book, not a company has possession of my book. When in reality, if you're looking to get something graded, you want it as objective as possible, as by the book as possible. You really want to take all the human aspect out of it completely if you really want a proper grading. But with the customer service, but if you were to have, let's say if they were to have AI, there is no customer service in AI, So if all grading was to be perfect, by an AI grading system, you would have no customer service. Is no customer service better than bad customer service? And it's just weird that a human quality like customer service matters so much in grading, where there should be as little of a human aspect in it as possible. You know what I'm saying?
We want all this like airtight, foolproof grading just so we can take it to a show and barter.
Right. Yeah. True.
I want to know for sure, just so I can have you dick me out of $20. Say like, I'll pay $100 instead of $120. Okay, so
yeah, it's just an interesting. Yeah, it's just interesting.
No, it is fascinating.
Bird, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey Bird. If you are a comic collector, but like I said, there's multi-facets to it and things like that.
Sure.
And now's a great time to mention that you have your very first Comic-Con coming up.
Oh yeah.
You will have your own graded books, but the thing is, like I said, like you're going to have these books, and then they're going to be 9.8s and 9.6s and things like that. And I wonder, like, if we're going to sit here and complain and bitch, which you and I are not really, we're just kind of having fun. What is the next thing? Because like this certainly hurts the business of people selling. This definitely hurts them, and so there's going to be a hiccup, because like if you're not sending in books right now to CGC and I'm not sending in books, which no harm there, but there's people who are bigger than you who aren't doing it as well. So there's going to be a nice hiccup,
Yeah.
And that's why CGC is lowering their prices, because they're feeling it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were trying to because look, and it's like somebody brought up a good point. And it's all about the publicity matters. Obviously, we know a lot of us know this, right? Publicity matters so much. So if you have word of mouth, scandal, this happened, like just a bunch of negativity, right? Yeah. That just hurts the brand image. It's similar to how, like, I forgot who did this comparison online, but it's kind of why Phase 4 in Marvel did so much worse than Phase 3. But if you look at the Phase 3 lineup, it really wasn't that much better. They just had all of the negative blows spaced out in a more strategical way.
Yeah, I get that.
So rather than like a flop with, film A and B next to each other, they had Grand Slam, we know this is going to be a good movie, and then maybe a slight, underwhelming performance, and then boom, another monster, and then maybe a downturn, rather than Grand Slam, flop, underwhelming, and then that just gets in people's heads, and they think, okay, they're on the downturn, they're losing control over there. So,
it's like when you vote, you don't vote for yourself, you vote for your kids, because there's always going to be a trend. There's always going to be a trend. I mean, like I said, like if you go to the ballpark and you eat one hot dog, it's great. The second hot dog might be good, but the third one, it's going to start losing it. So I mean, exactly. There's a wave to this whole thing. I mean, and like they're getting out in front of it, possibly be trying to do some damage control by saying like, okay, $3 off or whatever it is off a book. I mean, that's fine. But I mean, it's funny to say that we're still not saying, oh, well, the damage has been done. We're still kind of going like, well, I mean, like you're still CGC and like you did a bad thing, but we're not going to really punish you. Like we're going to like let you grovel a little bit. We're not going to punish you. We're going to hold on for a second. We're going to take we're going to, this is what they want, by the way. We're going to take your little break, and then you're going to climb back up the ranks and be number one again. It actually never not going to be number one. And something else will happen.
Can I use an analogy that I hope doesn't hit a sore spot for people? it's like I sincerely mean no disrespect to this analogy. It's like being
terrible.
it's really not that bad. It's like being in an abusive relationship. You see the potential of what your partner could be, and you've seen them at their best, but their worst really sucks, really fucking bad. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to leave them just yet. Let me just see if I can. Let me just see if they're going to clean up their act, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I already have so much invested in them, time invested in them, money, and all this stuff, right? Same thing with CGC. A lot of people have their books invested in the company already, and so it's like I feel like people are holding off for that reason as well. But like Ferd said, what's it going to take for the pendulum to swing back to CBCS? It's going to take a fucking collusion. It's going to take a coup. It's going to take an army of people, everybody as a community saying, look, this is it. Like, money talks. You got to talk with your wallet. But not only that, it's not only going to take, let me tell you where it's really going to move the community over to CBCS. Not sending books to CBCS, spending top dollar on CBCX graded books is where once the comic book market starts to see CBCS book, same grade, is grading higher or selling for higher than CGC books, that's when the pendulum is going to start to swing the most.
That's well said. Actually, you know what? But yes, it would take a brave soul. It would take one brave soul to like list that book higher, and then one brave soul to buy it to start the water dripping. I think that's well said. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you said money talks, yeah, but the problem is like everybody's holding their money. It's like stocks. You're kind of like you don't want it to be divested. I'm sorry to lose its power. Words are escaping me. So you hold on. You're going like this is still worth everything I put into it and I invested into it. It's still worth it. And it would take somebody to just finally say like, yeah, you know what? I want that Dr. Doom first appearance at 1.0 rather than a 0.5. And I'm willing to pay the $500 extra. It doesn't need to be much. It really doesn't. In fact, I mean, like, we would just need one major seller to be like, you know what? I'm go online and say like, I'm just switching to CBCS. I'm tired of it, or PGX or whatever you said.
I think the market. I think the market talks. The market's gonna because as much as I used to watch them a lot, I haven't really been in the past year watching like hot 10 or top 10 videos and. But keep in mind, that's something that, a lot of people dog on YouTube channels that do hot 10 videos. For some reason, I don't know why all they're doing is reporting the news, really. People dog on like channels like that. But like, it is what it is. Like, that's what's happening. And I feel like once that starts to bleed into those reports of, CBCS is outperforming CGC again and again, it's going to take a market shift completely. For things to be like, all right, here's another option for most people. But dude,
does anybody interview these people? I mean, like, let me ask you a question here. I know that there was some sort of like they released a statement, and I know you told me about it, and then I didn't really hear the statement. But I just was there like a press meeting, and then like they're standing out at a podium and they're talking about it, or was it just an email sent? How come nobody's infiltrated these people and like talked to them? Obviously, if there's this much money.
No, they have.
I want to hear these interviews. I want to see these people's faces. I mean, like
it's on. It's on West Coast Dave Ventures, he's a great YouTuber. Like 8 out of 10 things I see with this guy eye to eye on comics. He's really good. He's funny, very knowledgeable. He had the interview of Matt Nelson on his channel. I'm sure a lot of people in the comments probably saw it. But Dave in 9.9, 9.9 is the one that found the first scandal. But 9.9 doesn't have a newsstand. But Dave, 9.9 doesn't have a YouTube. But Dave does. So they kind of broke all of this to the public on 9.9's Instagram and on Dave's YouTube. And then Matt Nelson, who's the president of CGC, went on to Dave's channel and did the only interview I think so far about it. And 9.9 got a lot of shit like, you didn't press him hard enough, this and that. You didn't
softball the comic guy, dude.
Softball, yeah.
Come on, really?
I mean, like, I don't know. I can't really comment educationally on that or informatively on that because I don't know what the process is for interviewing somebody like that. There's going to be a set of questions that I'm sure are set in stone that you can only stick to, or they're not going to do the interview.
Well, yeah, they prep them up. They say these are the questions you can ask, these are the questions you can't ask, and that kind of stuff. Like, or they get up and take the microphone off and they're out of there. Like it's one of those. But
yeah.
So if you want the interview, you got to softball them and things like that. That's the whole Katie Kirk thing from a long time ago.
And a lot of people are giving CGC shit because in that interview, they specifically did ask him, "Do you think this is an inside job?" And he said no. Now he said that, but no, but like look at it from and again, I'm not advocating for them, but from a legal standpoint, if you're the president of a company and somebody's asking you, "Is this scandal an inside job?" The answer probably is no. It doesn't mean we don't have another scandal going on that's an inside job, but is this related to an inside job? No. And then if you have a lawsuit that's underway, what is that? What is, other people are like, well, why didn't he bring it up in the interview that there is another inside job scandal going on underneath investigation?
Money.
But dude, if you're that company's lawyer, what you think that lawyer is going to say? Oh yeah, talk freely about the investigation or lawsuit.
No, they say that we can't comment on that right now.
Exactly,
don't say that there's not. Don't be like we're fine. Look, you know what, guys, we weathered the storm, and somebody mislabeled a bunch of Spider-Man. Sorry about that. Here we go. No, I mean, just say we can't comment. But I mean, that just seems to listen. So John, listen, we've been friends for 2 years now, and if you call me tomorrow and I lie to you on the phone, you might go, weird. Rev lied to me, But if you call me the next day and I lie to you again, and then I lie to you again, I promise you, John, even though I've known you for 2 years, I'm not going to get 5 lies in a row on you without you saying something,
Right.
And if you say something and then I lie about lying, you're going to start to discredit me and just write me off. Our 2-year friendship, which is great. I bet you, if I just lied to you only, I could ruin it in 2 days. I bet you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So why do these people get leeway? Why does anybody in this world get leeway? Like you talked about abused couple. I mean, well, look, here we go. Like if my wife started lying to me, I'd be like, why are you lying to me? And she's like, I'm not lying to you, and keeps lying. I mean, look, we've been together for 8 years. I bet you my ass is out of here in a week.
Yeah.
But we're going to allow these people because we want to protect them because they have our money tied up. Not like physical money now, but we need their name to be good. So all this money we've invested in all these books doesn't go to shit. So we're joking about the pendulum swinging, but if the pendulum swings back to CBCS, all that fucking money that people spend at CGC becomes less valued. So that's why they're turning the blind eye to it and going like, figure your shit out, please, 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 please. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have more than us. So you and I are like just poking the wound right now. Like we're just like, well, we're speculating because fuck it, who cares? But there's people out there who like really are nail biting this. There's probably somebody who's got a store who has 500 CBC books right now, going like, what am I going to do? Fix your shit. Yeah.
And here's the thing that everybody always kind of comments on with like, there's some video that blew up kind of recently, and the guy is like, he's banging. Let me know in the chat if y'all saw this video. He's like banging CGC cases together. He's banging CGC cases together, and he's like CGC, and he goes on like this rant about how he hates third-party grading, right? And I'm just like, dude, like, I completely disagreed with the video. And I completely forgot where I was going with that. What did you say? Right?
I don't know, dude. You're talking about banging book. I heard you banging, and I was like typing because somebody's talking about getting us oiled up.
But there was something that I think it was CGC is a company. They're not one person. Like what you're talking about, like the losing faith in one person. That's one person. CGC is made up of multiple people. If any of those cards fall, the whole thing can come down, right? The cards at the bottom. Let's say if you have the president at the top and you got the people who are grading at the bottom. If any of those cards fall over, the whole integrity of the company's guarantee can come down. And I think that people have faith that it's easier to replace one card in the stack than if it was your only card in your hand. Sorry with the analogy, but like,
no, I get that one. I get that one.
You get that?
Yeah, I get that. Like you still have a pile of cards where there's just one in your hand.
Correct. Like
two instance, in the bush, one in the hand, birds.
Like for instance, like let's just say, right? Let's take out the whole seller scandal, right? The Reholder scandal, Scandal 1. Let's take that out the equation.
Scandal 1. I mean, like
Scandal 1, right?
If I had a scandal in my business, I wouldn't have a scandal 2. You know, like,
all right.
It's certainly not in the 12 calendar months, you know.
But if they're going on at the same time, what if they're going on at the same time?
They obviously were.
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah, of course they were. So if you have a scandal going on, I don't know why I'm just completely losing my fucking train.
Completely mesmerized by the fact that I unholstered everything and let you have the idea that people don't mind CGC being scandalous because their money's tied up in it. Really, honestly, I said, like, I'm sitting here having the epiphanies right now. You know, like the revelation, the twist in the plot is everybody doesn't want CGC to fail because all the money they spend at CGC making these valuable books goes nowhere. So CBCS is like going like. CBCS is saying, like, well, come to us, and no one will because they're all protecting their fake fucking money. CGC, even though CGC is like turning out shit, and we're gonna just take it. We're gonna just take it. You know, like there's your moment.
It depends. This is what I was going. Okay, at the end of the day, right? Because people always dog, like, you know, if you grade third party books, you have third party grading, right? Well, you can't enjoy it. You can't do this with it. It's in this, dude. Crack the motherfucker out, like. If you're worried about your entire if you're worried about your entire inventory, right? Yeah. And if you're worried about the pendulum swinging over to CBCS, your worry is not in the value of the book. If the pendulum swings. Your biggest loss is just the grading fee of all those books.
No, and you know more than me, but I'm going to tell you as a poor person comic book collector. Okay, hear me out. All right. Again, we all know that I got my Spider-Man #1 on deck to get graded. By the way, the first one came from Albert, and I love you for it. I'm going to get it graded. Okay. The thing is, when I go to CGC, which I'm sure that I will because I'm weak. I'm going to get it graded for $23 now instead of $27 or whatever, $22 now instead of $25. I'm now thinking to myself, like, why want the book to have the most value? You know, like, I still think that CGC is going to have the most value for this book. You know, so I mean, I'm not gonna go like, well, I'm gonna go to CBCS and get the same grade because it won't be the same value. It just won't. Right. And that's what the part that sucks. I mean, like, and I'm not gonna say there's some sort of like altruistic universe where like kumbaya and there's one universal grading and one universal price. It's not gonna happen because as the prices drop, here's the reality, and you guys all can like maybe join in from this education that maybe I'm right or wrong, is the only books that are going to hold ultimate fucking value are the Golden Age and the Silver Age books. You know, I mean, like those older books in the end, because like modern books. And look, I'm a modern book reader. I'm a modern book collector. I have more modern books than anything, and it's fine. But I'm also not thinking that they're going to be an investment. I think that somewhere in the mid '90s, early 2000s, late 2000s, whatever like that, like 2010 or whatever, they started making like books. They're like, well, this is the one you need to collect. You know, they used to write on the covers, the #1 collector's edition. Those books don't mean anything. They don't. Like the books where like Superman first kisses Lois Lane, or those things are going to be worth money. And ultimately the problem is those books are worth less and less money because the hobby, comics will always be around, thankfully, hopefully. But I mean, like the fervor that came from the couple of years ago, it's dying out. So everybody who's tried to mine the hobby to get all their money, like they're now reeling, and because of that, like they're not spending the money the way they were. All these books have been devalued, and so all of a sudden, the highest point of the apex, the temple of all comic book grading and collecting and money, is now being called into question. So all these people trickle down, go like, oh fuck. My money is now like my money is now possibly like being tampered with here. So everybody's going to be quiet, and they're going to say like, wow, CGC is really going out of their way to really bust this scandal. I bet they're going to do better now. You know, like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to say that? Hell, man, if I had $50,000 in comic books that I was trying to sell from CGC, I'm never going to want them to look bad. I'm going to eat shit so they can look better. And so my books won't go down in value. I think they know that. Why wouldn't they know that?
Yeah. Of course.
$3 of a book, $5 of a book. What the fuck does that mean?
They know they're at the top, man. They know that it's going to take a monumental change for the pendulum to switch. They know that. Of course, they know they have the high ground. You know, we're fucking Anakin sitting there about to get our
coming for you.
cut off. Like they know that. Of course, they're a giant company. They got the numbers. You know, they got the numbers. Of course, they know that. No, absolutely. Amen to everything you said. Well said. Nice little rant there.
Thank you.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. Okay. So, anything else?
Like a role reversal here tonight, man. You're doing the me.
What you mean?
Where I'm losing, like I usually lose my tangents. I'm so surprised as synapses are firing and I'm like getting these things off. People are gonna be knocking at my door because I figured it out. They're gonna kidnap me, and you're losing your train of thought. It's a role.
I am. So check it out. What if I was gonna pull up this older video, and I want y'all to watch this with me. This is one of probably the 4th video I ever put on the channel. And does this correlate to the newest CGC scandal? Let me get rid of this. Hang tight.
Baby brain. You probably do.
Yeah, baby brain. You're right. 25% of my brain is with my pregnant fiance, who's about to go into labor at any moment in the other room.
You should just be dramatic at the end of the show, like right before we end. Be like, guys, it's time. Go. And then just like run out of there.
Yeah. All right. So check it out. Let's see. All right. Let me share this real quick. So if you've been subscribed for a long time, you might remember this video. This video was the first video on my channel that did pretty well. And it was a CGC submission that the grades were all over the place. Now, the reason why, what's funny, real quick, side quest on this video, why this video did well was because it got shared a couple of times. And a couple of people were like, oh, look at this grading, grading disaster. This person doesn't know how to grade. I'll be the first to say, have I gotten better at grading books since this video? 1000%. Was there some crazy fuckery going on at CGC where they were changing graders and grading was now different? 1000%. Because shortly after this video released, there was a flood of CGC unboxing videos that where people are like, what the hell is CGC doing? Their grading is completely changed. They're being super hard on books. So in this CGC unboxing here, I opened up a single book, and the book was Secret Wars. I'm going to fast forward to the video, and we're going to watch the section of it that is very fucking weird. I still don't have an answer to this. Do you remember this, Rev? Do you remember this?
I will remember when I see it. You said really fucking weird. I just went back to your analogy with the scientist one.
let's dive into this and all right.
Lower the lights. Are we gonna have volume? You're gonna sing we don't have volume again?
Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Look at this.
What is up, guys?
All right.
YouTube. I'm
Look
John,
at this.
And this is Kylo.
Look at that haircut.
Dude, yeah.
Look
how young I was. I was so young.
Look at that.
All right. We're going to fast forward this.
How come you don't do these anymore? Like videos like this anymore?
Well, I got the paper cave now.
Yeah, that's true. But we missed Kylo. Look at Kylo right there.
She's so cute. All right, let me mute this while I search for this one book in particular.
Look at that smoky gaze you just gave us. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, check this out. You ready?
Yeah, here we go.
Had this one as a possible 9.6, 9.8. Let's see what we got.
Watch.
9.0. Way off. What I'm really upset with on this book with CGC is there, if you can see, right above Thor's head.
Oh my God.
Sticker
oh, I remember that.
On my book. This was not there before I pressed it. I have photos of the book before I sent it in, and I have no idea how this happened. It is the same book. I've matched up the spine ticks, but CGC will definitely get a call. This was mishap number 1 of the night.
You were at the forefront of all this.
So,
you were at the forefront of all of it. Look at that. You should have blown a whistle back then. Stickergate.
So, Stickergate, dude. Reef to see what's up, bud. What breed of dog is on the left, as opposed to the one on the right?
It's John.
John, yeah, it's a John. So there was a sticker on my fucking comic book. I would like to know theories in the comment section. How in the fuck does that happen? Why is there a sticker anywhere near my fucking comic book? And how did it get on it? And how did it get graded after that?
I don't like Frank
please.
sticker. Where's that? Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, so every book comes in, John, very meticulously. They take it out of the box. Okay, somebody puts on some gloves. They put it on their desk. They take whiteout pen and go right in the top corner of your book. Like, I forgot how it played out exactly. I know that you were really upset about it because I was way back in the beginning. Again, check that haircut. And I know that you sent it back and you got some sort of restitution for it. Did they fix the book or did they give you a better grade? I can't remember how that one played out.
You want to watch it? No, they
bring us to it. Yeah.
No, they did. They sent it back to me with the sticker fully removed and the same grade.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Dude. Oh, that's because you were kind of like, yeah, the sticker like made the grade worse. I don't know where the sticker came from.
Jimmy John's sticker from Sub. That's funny. Maybe.
I mean, like I said, like, but you've had some other things in there that have gone wrong. You had like that one that was cracked and it was like loose inside, and like my Ninja Turtle one. Remember, my Ninja Turtle one was all like misholstered. I mean, like,
yeah. That's like quality control shit, which is terrible too. Like, that's terrible.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like I can't buy a beautiful diamond ring for somebody, and it's beautiful and it's pretty, and then they throw it in a cardboard box and mail it to me. You know, like that's
sure, yeah.
So, I mean, like we talk about quality control. Now, I understand if something happens in the mail, getting to my house, but I don't want to get something that's bubble wrapped meticulously, and the box is beautiful, and it gets me this crack shit in the corner. I mean, their whole outfit is quality control, certified, guaranteed collectibles. You know what? I mean, the only thing that's left is like,
I mean, yeah.
Did I get that right?
I can't like look, certified, guaranteed company. But and keep in mind. Look, are we unhappy about everything that's going on? Absolutely. I'm not making excuses. But the facts of the matter is what CGC, that guarantee is that your Secret Wars 1 is a Secret Wars 1. That's the only guarantee legally that they have, which sucks. And if you're going to be a company and abide by those, you're going to fail miserably, which is why they're trying to compensate people and which is why they're trying to lower prices and beg everybody for their trust back because they need to. But when you come to like, oh, well, if that's not their name, then what is it? Technically, their name's only to fucking guarantee you that the book is in the case is what it says that it is.
Wow, man. There's by my house, there's this place that's called Guaranteed Used Tires. I love them. I love that company.
That's great.
I mean, there's just bald tires out front they're selling, but you know what a beautiful business model. So that's we guarantee that this is the book, but
that's
they can't even guarantee that because people are stealing them, John. They can't even guarantee that. I mean, so what sham company are they even dealing with here? You know, I mean, like, again, you guys, it's all just for fun. But I mean, in reality, I mean, like, it is crazy to think you'd spend that much money just to like have somebody say your book got lost.
And I think Joe said, hold on, let's see what Joe said real quick. They sent me an Avengers 196. That wasn't my book. Different spine, 8.5 sunburst top left. I sent a pristine 9.8 deep green. Said they had a camera, and that's the book they got. Interesting.
First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. That would drive me crazy.
Who so they said they had a camera. Like who said that? Like who'd you talk to? Because Rev. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that, Rev. What the fuck's wrong with you? Put your goddamn finger down. This guy. That is wild. My impression is like, so if that was told to you by somebody, there you are. Yeah. If that was told to you by somebody, I would think it's probably I want to know who told you that. Because if it's like some random customer service people telling me that, I'd be like, fuck you. How do you know? You're probably sitting like in your pajamas at your house somewhere.
What can you do though? What can you do? Like they said, like CGC, what can you do?
So it's like, so you're saying that according to CGC, their policy is that whenever they get a book in, they are videotaped that this is the book that they got in. Interesting. And you have photos. Okay. They're cool. I mean, shit. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that sucks. No, it's crazy. It sucks. I mean, like, and then we've sort of addressed this already because, like, I mean, Reeve, you kind of maybe just joined in, but like, yeah.
All right,
where are you going? Is it time? Are you being dramatic? Do I hear Crystal? Is it time? No. So look, I mean, again, I'm not a big, I don't have big money books at all. Like I said, again, behind me on this wall, if you saw it, it'd be sad for anybody who collects books, but it makes me very happy. And that's why I have them. But I mean, I couldn't imagine like spending all this money on these books and like switching them up. I mean, like this is what we're talking about. Like the CGC, I think everybody's just going to protect them, man. So you say, okay, let me ask you, the second black eye to CGC will deter you from sending in books to CGC? I mean, no, I don't. God damn it. I want to say yes. I want to like fucking say yes. But like I said, I have this Spider-Woman book that like I want to get it graded, but I mean, I've been waiting for this kind of version of it. And I'm like, dude, do I send it in CBCS just to be like, man, I want to with every fiber of my punk rock fucking being. I want to do that, but will I do it? I don't know. Am I going to be like a sheep? Fuck, man, maybe. I don't want to be that way, but I mean, like, what are we really doing here? You know, I mean, like, my books aren't worth dick. So, I mean, I just don't know. Like, it's more of a question for John. It's more of a question for Albert. It's more of a question for Ferd, to be honest with you. I would be more interested in what they say. Reef, I don't know if you have big books too, but I mean, like, Joe, same thing. I mean, like, what are y'all going to do? I mean, obviously it's our show and we're talking, but I mean, you guys are probably the bigger dogs than we are. I would rather hear what you're going to do. Maybe one of you guys has a shop and then you spend a ton of money. And what are you going to do? You know?
Yeah, let's throw around our options here. Let's say CGC sucks. They will always suck. They currently do suck, but let's say they will continue to suck. You need to go elsewhere. How many people are down with getting rid of third-party grading altogether? I'm just curious.
Oh, so we're just saying that that CGC is Apple. Is that what we're saying? That like, so anybody, you're saying just in general, just go back to the world of Raw, like this, like
I'm just throwing like well, I just want to know what people's like options are. Like let's say CGC just sucks and everybody loses faith, like, you know, unrepairable faith in them, you know, damage, like what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, there's always going to be a market for this stuff. Like I said, you can't not. I mean, like, again, like Ferd made a joke earlier about the games or something like that. You know, grading games and things like that. There's always going to be a market for something like this. It just has to be, because like there's always going to be a pissing contest about mine is better. Always, in some respect, it always has. We've at the very minuscule levels of like humanity, we always fight about what we have. You know, so I mean, like, if I got a red car, you got a nicer car. So, I mean, there's always going to be people who are bitching and squabbling about stuff like that. So I think that in collectibles, we've become that petty that we're always just going to grade our collectibles, you know, like,
sure.
So, I mean, can we do away with third parties? No, because something else is going to be there. It is a void that will always be filled, you know?
I agree.
Plug. But I
agree. And like I always said, you have to always ask the question, is it better than the alternative? And what's the alternative? You know, the alternative is, you know, somebody who you want a conflict of interest, have the person that's selling you the book be the one that's grading you, grading the book. It's a 100% a conflict of interest. So, is there anybody else out there? I mean, who else? You got PGX, you got CGC, you got CBCS, there's a couple of other ones. PGX is funny because it's become a joke at this point.
Why are they a joke?
PGX, you want to bust it open? I got a PGX slab right here.
Let's do it live on the show. Go Gallagher style. Crush that motherfucker. Now, I mean, like, I wonder why are they a joke? But look, real quick here. I saw Joe. He said, I called CGC after Scandal and wanted to know how many books that he graded of mine, or I would file to get that information. Cool. That's what I'm saying. That's become the jihad, my friend. Become the jihad. You know, you should get that kind of stuff. It's your books. They should have that information. I mean, like, it's crazy that there could be a potential a situation where they just say like, "Hey, man, sorry, bro. You know, we've got your book." I mean, you know, it should be the business. PSA. Yeah.
PSA. Oh yeah, PSA. Yeah, they've been an integrating company for a long time. Maybe PSA. Man. That'd be cool if they do. I tell you what.
Fanatics too. You know, Fanatics has baseball cards.
You know what I think? Might be stronger than CBCS going forward? A brand new company like PSA, who has, you know, a great reputation in grading. over CBCS coming to say, okay, we're going to start grading comic books, because CGC I think started out as grading comics, right? And then they went to other stuff. I don't know.
I don't. You're talking to me.
I don't know. I'm talking to anybody who's listening.
Are you gonna fingernail open this again like the other one?
So this is a 8.0. This is the only. I bought this for $20 at a con, and just because I wanted the book inside, and I was like, well, I'm gonna bust this motherfucker out one day.
Here we go,
and we'll see it. Let's see how tamper-proof PGX cases are. I busted open that. I've done it to a CGC before, but it broke.
Yeah, I would tell you, like, we just literally had like a breakthrough. And the other thing is, like, I have to think that these companies are seeing this. We talk about PSA, we talk about Beckett, we talk about a few of these other things. Like, they have to be doing this. It have to be a department right now. So maybe we're looking at smaller companies, third party, who are opposed to CGC. But look, I tell you what, man, if PSA started grading comics, why wouldn't you?
If that label was on point.
They've been grading cards for forever. Everybody thinks they're the number one. And look, CGC decided to start grading cards themselves. So why not have, Beckett or PSA start grading comics? I bet you they have the facilities. It just takes a few defective graders from CGC to do it. I mean, like, so you
Here's
might be
the problem with PGX. So the label's torn. I probably could have taken a heat gun to that and peeled the label off before I cracked it. But anyway, PGX.
You got it. There you go. Look at that. The Houdini of breaking open cases with bare fingers.
But check this out.
The label's in the capsule part.
Yeah. Guess why this won't fucking work? Because the label is part of the fucking comic. So I can't separate this.
Look at that.
Even PGX is on top of the game. God damn you, CGC. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, be quiet. All that money, Johnny. All that money. Wait. Is that right?
What do you mean?
We're about is CBCS is Beckett?
Yes, this is true. CBCS is Beckett. Yes.
Why do we not trust them? Beckett has been around for forever and things. Like, is that true?
No. Remember, trust. It's not about trust. Nobody has a trust issue with CBCS. Everybody trusts that CBCS.
So the customer service is just what we're complaining about? What?
And the label and the market value.
Have you tried to buy a Ferrari?
What do you mean?
You're not getting a good customer service. I don't know. I mean, I made that up, but I'm saying it's like if we're bitching about customer service only. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's like stocks, man. It's just confidence. It's just really just confidence at this point. I mean, like, how confident you are in this company. There's no different. It's still your 9.8, 9.6 book. It doesn't change. It doesn't change the product you have. It's just where we're sitting, and it makes it make more money. It's so weird.
We didn't even talk about the 9.9 pre-screen yet.
You better get that fly, man. You're like that episode in Breaking Bad where the entire episode is him getting the fly, and then he just turns into a bad guy.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the 9.9 pre-screen. Did you hear about that, Rev?
No, I mean, like, but let me say, everybody in chat, thank you. Like, you guys are just schooling the fuck out of us tonight, and we appreciate that. Like, I'm reading all this stuff and I'm processing, and I'm really appreciative of everything you guys are giving us, because like, you're sharing information with us, and tomorrow people who are watching the rewind, and after that, you're also giving the information to them. So thank you, appreciate that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Now, like and subscribe and share.
Yes.
God damn it!
Now
follow us on Instagram.
Hit the like button.
Can you put our banner up real quick so people can see who we are on Instagram? For shameless plugging and like more friends, just so I can show my wife that I have more friends.
We don't even have a ready banner.
Johnny, tell me about the pre-screen.
About the pre-screen. So the pre-screen. Everybody knows about the pre-screen. It's 9.9 pre-screen that CGC is going to start doing. And never got a 9.9 or a 10 in 10 years. Yeah. So let's open up that bag of worms. 9.9 pre-screen. It's again, that's part of the good publicity. Remember I was saying earlier, it's all about making your news statements positive with the negative. So they released that on that interview that I was talking to you about. That was on West Coast Avengers channel. And he basically just stated they're going to start doing a 9.9 pre-screen. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about that. Why? And I know why, to make more money.
Oh yeah.
But But
it's like
the
pre-sales.
thing is,
It's like pre-sales money. You get money up front, and then you can do what you want with it.
yeah,
Promise something. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like they want to slowly start to implement. Here's the thing. Okay. They probably should never
You okay?
have had. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just, I get flooded with thoughts, and
I love
then
it. I love it.
they just all
No.
run into each other and pile up in my brain.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
I think CGC made a mistake in the beginning by doing the grading scales the way that they did. 9.8, 9.9, 10. So a 9.9 is impossible, and then a 10 is impossible. There really should be no 9.9. It should probably just be a 9.8 and then a 10, or it should really just be a 9.6 to a 9.9. Those three consecutive grades kind of really like convolute things and fuck it up. And I think they're starting to realize that. And I think they're starting to realize that they created two improbables. Well, they created an impossible with a 10, an improbable with a 9.9, and a hard to get with a 9.8. And I think they're starting to realize that most of the modern books that they've looked at, many of those could hit a 9.9, but so many graders just set the precedent of it needs to be flawless. Well, flawless would probably be a 10. And I think they're realizing they missed a lot of grades, a lot of 9.9 grades that they probably should have gotten. And they also want to make money. So the thing is, if they start doing 9.9 pre-screens, everybody's like, okay, well, what's that going to do to the market? It all depends on how CGC goes about it. They can do 9.9 pre-screens, but they can't change the standard of what a 9.9 is. For instance, if books that are not straight off the printing press, and I'm talking about when they do this, the books that need to come out with 9.9s need to be like these fucking variants that are coming straight from the publishers, straight to CGC. Those are books that really should start hitting 9.9s. If you start getting Copper Age books all of a sudden that's hitting 9.9s and Bronze Age books are, like that's going to be ridiculous. That's going to be terrible. That's going to look so bad.
It will. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
So bad. So it all depends on a 9.9 pre-screen is great, but just because I'm sending in possibilities, if I send in 10 possible 9.9s, I don't want to get 8 of them back. I want like one of those to come back, maybe a 9.9, if that. I want the same.
I get that.
There,
But to get none, to say that his books, like he was never getting Joe said he never got one in 10 years. That's amazing. I mean, like, not get one. So we're just saying, like, they're just saying to Joe, you've got a shitty eye. You have a shitty eye.
No, it depends on what you send in, Joe. It all depends. Are you sending in nothing but moderns, like variants, like,
even more to the point, he should be getting a 10.0 in a modern easily, especially with, I mean, come on.
A 10.0, dude. A 10.0 is like a 10.0.
Why would it be an old book versus a new book? I would think the modern would get the 10.0 before like 1990.
A 10.0 would literally have to come off the printing press, cradled, and delivered onto the desk. Right, exactly. So that's where the 9.9 is fucking shit up. A 10.0 should really be how they've been treating 9.9s. But the problem is they've been treating 9.9s like 10.0s when there shouldn't even be a 9.9. It should be a 9.8 and a 10.0.
But here's the deal. Okay, and I'm just playing around, but I mean, like 10.0 shouldn't even exist. That's like, I mean, first of all, I've never seen one. I've never seen one at a show. I rarely see pictures of them. I don't even know if they really even exist. I think the label looks a little bit different. Like you've reached the holy grail. You get like a slightly golden 10.0 or something. I think that's kind of right. But
yeah,
the 9.8. I mean, you and I have both always looked at 9.8 as like the holy grail because there's no 10.0s. And why would you have a 9.9? Hey man, you almost got it. That's weird. Like. So I mean, it's like having 3 equal halves, and then the last last quarter is like 4 pieces, and you're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. The 9.8 is a 10.0. I mean, I think that we all just kind of agree. So like, you shouldn't have a 9.9.
No, I disagree.
No, and I get that, but is there even a market for 10.0s? What is that?
Yeah. 10.0 will add like a standard. A 10.0 grade on the shittiest book will probably add at least $100 to your book. The fact that it's that label. I would Ferd if Ferd Bird's in the house. Ferd Bird's definitely in tone with the market and shit like that. If you got a 10.0 in your book, that's going to add $100 to your label. It could be the shittiest, most stupid variant ever. The fact that it's a 10.0,
just because it's rarity, because it's a 10.0. Are you literally buying the book now because it's a 10.0, not because of the actual book? So we've literally jumped the shark now. You're buying the damn case. You're buying the case because of the book is 10.0, not because of the damn 10.0. Wow, bro.
I mean, look, it's a little, man. It's plastic. It is. It's a little more. Obviously, the book has to look like a 10.0. Nobody wants to get a book that's a 9.8 and then that see spine ticks and have a 10.0. What?
My 9.8 fucking Wolverine on the wall, dude.
Yeah,
it was beautiful when I brought it. It looked like glass. It was so beautiful. And I come back, it's got spine ticks. It didn't have them before. It's probably a 9.8. It is a 9.8. But if I take that fucking book out that case and send it back, it's not going to be a 9.8. It's going to be a 9.6 or 9.4 all day. You can be my friend.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, you're it could be. No, I'm saying
that's no longer 9.8. They put a piece of plastic on it. It's no longer 9.8 because grading fairies that don't exist have now cultivated a price for this book. I'm afraid to take it out because I don't want to be dinged by the grading fairies, even though I never intend to sell this book. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with this book later because my kid's not going to want the book. And why the fuck would my kid's kid want the book? So now I have a book that I want to look at until I'm old and I'm like, I'm going to sell it and it's worth something, and it's worth Beanie Babies.
Let's see. What's Joe saying? Joe's saying some stuff. Joe, they give 9.9s and 10.0s to dealers and people who submit a ton as a thank you. In his opinion, he says, think about how many they have at trade shows or these online dealers. Yeah, and it's also, I mean, whether or not it's a thank you or not, like maybe, I don't know. I don't know if CGC is that in tone to like who's submitting their stuff. Like, is there that much oversight where like, okay, this person's got this many, hey, reporting down to the grader? Because keep in mind, the person that's grading is not paying attention to, how many books this person has submitted. That would have to come from a higher up. They would literally have to say, okay, hey, in this, give this person 3 more 10.0s. It could be that. I'm not saying it's not weird.
It's so weird to think that'd be possible.
But it could also be a numbers game. It could also be
like the Godfather.
It could be that, but it could also be a numbers game. If you look at a dealer who's I'm going to send in, 50 books, dude, people send in stupid amount of comics to get graded. It's ridiculous. If you send in 50
not
books
right now,
and they're all straight up off the printer press, you're going to hit a grader eventually that feels okay with giving a 10.0. I think there's certain graders out there that will never give a 10.0, will never give a 9.9 ever. And I think it's a matter of, unfortunately, of getting the right grader if they deem that worthy enough.
Yeah. I feel like I want to go through my collection.
Yes, it should have been green.
I just want to find the 10.0 book and send it in.
Yeah.
But you're saying, okay, so like, and listen, I completely understand you're saying you're playing the law of averages. If somebody sends in 500 books, something might be a 10.0. However, there is some collusion right there because like you got to think to yourself, if they're getting in 500 books, I need to give you a 10.0 because if I don't, you're not going to keep sending in 500 books, but so they're not going to send me, Joe Schmuckatelli, a book, my 2 books I send, they're not going to give me 10.0, but they should because, John, it's a grading company. It's a grading company.
Wait, hold on. But why would a company? I'm just trying to think of like, so if you're CGC and you're looking at somebody who's sending you 500 books,
I should be able to send CGC, 1 book and get a 10.0.
What? I mean, you should.
But you're saying,
but you have to look at the chances of that happening. You have to send the right book. That book has to reach the desk of a grader. I'm telling you, there are people out there that don't believe in 10.0s, that nothing will ever hit that standard. So your book, you have to send in the right book to reach the right grader and deem it worthy.
That's my point. There's no uniform grading at CGC. Like it should be all. I got it. I know you're going to enter into, and you're not wrong. You're going to say human fallacy. They're having a good day, things like that. And that's where I'm going to say, yeah, not my fault. Not my fault. If I mailed in a 10.0 book, it is not my fault you're having a shitty day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and therefore, part of it should be, like you said, maybe you put it in a computer and things like that. But they don't make as much money doing that. But it is, like I said, and I understand and I agree with what you're saying, but it is not my fault someone's having a bad day. My book should not hit the
it's more than a good day it's more than a good day or a bad day, dude. It's like, it's how somebody like perceives, it's how somebody will look at a comic and say, nothing will ever hit a 10.0. That's what I'm saying. You can have a certain grader on his best day. He can have his best, morning sex with his wife that he's ever had in his life and go to sit down and grade. And he's still not going to give you a 10.0 because he doesn't believe it.
But that's not fair. He's not doing his job. Like,
but how do you vet? How do you vet for that?
I don't.
Do you vet for that?
Get rid of the fucking humans, and then, like I said, I made the joke earlier.
Yeah,
you get rid of you put it in the computer. You get your 10.0. You get your book. You take it to comic book shop. You charge $200, and somebody comes up and says, "I'll give you 180," and you say, "Okay," and it's pointless. It's completely pointless. But what I'm getting at is, like, my book should have every fucking ounce and opportunity to have a 10.0 is another person's book. It should not be just because you're getting in volumes and volumes and volumes. And I understand you're saying because of the volumes, it might hit the 10.0. But what I'm saying is, like, the perfect book is a perfect book. And I should not be buzzsawed by somebody by bringing it and sending it into CBC or CGCS, and somebody's having a bad day. I don't care. They have the best sex with themselves. Like the book should be graded unilaterally and equally the same way for everybody and every book, and that isn't happening, and that's why the market disparity is there with some of these books, because you're not getting a uniform grade, which is contrary to the idea of the company, what they're doing. We lose confidence if it's not uniform grading. That's it.
We do, yeah. Inconsistency is
turn a blind eye because our money is tied up and we need them to succeed. Not my money. Right. I don't give a shit. I'm here to ride the hellfire down, baby.
So the question is, if we were to give CBCS the same sample size, right, the same amount of business, would the variance in grading be the same? Is CGC, and I'm just like thinking with you guys, right? I'm not like saying like what I believe. I'm just like thinking with everybody, right? If CGC has the most books to grade, right? Because everybody puts all their money to them. CBCS will say, we're just throwing out numbers. We'll say CBCS gets 30% of the graded books, and PGX gets 5% of the graded books, and CGC gets everything else. If CBCS were to get the same 70% of books, would their grades be as consistent with that sample size? No,
we've put too much faith in fucking eyeballs of human beings who can have good or bad days.
Right, but that's what it is. I think it's the ambitiousness of grading, and like I said in my video, when I advocate for third-party grading, and this is not CGC, this is all third-party grading, it's the ambitiousness of wanting to grade a fucking book.
Yeah,
it's so complex. It is so complex. Nobody's ever going to be happy. This conversation, this debate will always be had forever and always. How
silly are we?
Exactly. We are. We are.
I tell you what. I love being here with you and all these people who are talking. So this is a self-perpetuating fun machine for me. I'm fine.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. Right.
I'm like 10 minutes away from getting in trouble with my wife if I don't get off this thing. But I'm sitting there thinking, how can I buy more time? Because we're in the mix. Oh, okay.
Blame it on the baby. Blame it on the baby. Say, look, John's about to have his baby. Like this is
longer. Oh no, yeah, you can't have. You got me for 10 more minutes, John, and I love you. I gotta go. But until that 10 minutes is up, we need to answer these questions, and I want this one. CS, hit a good one. Yeah, go for it.
What do you think about Tech 69 best Golden Age Joker cover? Ooh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Would Joker 2 movie pump up the price? Absolutely not, because Tech 69 is being bought by Tech Detective Comics 69. Okay. Is that the Joker cover where he's coming out and he's got the guns and he's like, let's see.
CS just threw some slang on us right there. I like how you knew it. Dude, remember when you were like, you kept talking
to SW? Hold on, here you go.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, that is it.
I want to see.
It's badass. Great cover.
Oh, wow. Click the image. Let's take a look at that bad boy. Is that like a point blank gun? Let's see here. Oh, hey, that is a cool cover.
Yeah. That is the best. I agree with you. That is the best Joker cover. No, I don't think Joker 2 will drive up that price because the people that are buying that book The MCU and DCEU, the movie shit does not affect. That's in a different realm of market. Those people have money that's buying books like this. And I think it's a gorgeous book. I agree with you 100%. That's probably the best Joker cover. I don't know, but 251 is amazing too.
I would again. This is an unpopular statement, but I wish that movies didn't alter the comic book covers or comic book prices at all. I really just did, because like
if they were all 10 cents.
No, I mean that book right there again, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but I mean I wish these books didn't get affected by movies. That's all. I'd like it because it's a good story, a good character, and things like that. And again, I mean, it's very unpopular what I'm thinking, because then we can all just enjoy the books for what they are. But everybody's always going to try and like find the next big thing that's going to make them a lot of money quick.
Yeah. And can I comment on this dude that had a great video on, not a great video, I'll say a popular video on why he doesn't like third-party grading. And he was like, it defeats the purpose of, he's like, if you read that book or if you grade that book, he's like, you can never read that book again. It's like, okay, well, let me ask you this. If I've got 10 copies of Batman 138, do I need to read all 10 of them? Can I just have one that's in a case? Do I have to open up every one of them? Or is it only one comic book copy allowed per person and you have to read your own comic book that you have?
I mean, dude, yeah, exactly.
Yes, I love trade paperbacks. You can always get trade paperback. You can always read it online.
Yeah. That's what my wife says. She's like, "Why would you get them slabbed? You can never read them again." I read books all the time and I don't read them again.
The hobby has transcended. The hobby has transcended the reading, and that's not a bad thing. It's the reading of the books that caused the love for everything else in it. Like don't dog people for grading comic books because they want to grade them. It's like the reading of it is what made it the hobby that it is. Like that's why people love it. And there's other ways to read it. So if you want to grade a copy of it, then grade it. Get a reader copy. Get a trade paperback. Read it online.
Yeah, the story. You'll always be able to read the stories. I mean, like hey, look, man. If you feel strongly about something, right? Go for it. But I mean, you can always read it if you want.
Yeah. You put it in a tomb too. That unbreakable, penetrable
it
tomb
could never be broken.
That's funny. Any other comments? I was going to do some more comic reviews. Because I am fairly, in the retrospect to probably most comic readers, late into the game. So the good thing about that,
I'll tell you what. Give me a second. You keep talking. Let me see if I can buy something. Hold on. I'll be right back.
The good thing about that is I get to play catch up with all these great stories, right? So all the great historical comic stories, like Kraven's Last Hunt, Secret Wars, Hickman's Secret Wars, all of these, Time Runs Out, all these great stories I get to read for the first time. So I'm going to start doing a lot more comic book reviews. And I just read The Crow for the first time, the first volume in trade paperback form. And I got to tell you, that book is talking about The Crow.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just read?
Yeah. I think I'm going to do a review on that. And it's interesting to do a review on a book that there's no nostalgia bias involved in it. Because so many of the things that we love, there's nostalgia to that. You were in a certain time and a place as a kid when you first read it, Mm-hmm. But here I am at 38 years old and I'm like reading stuff for the first time. And it's like, okay, like how good is this to me at this age? So I think I'm going to do a review on The Crow and some other stuff that's been coming out that I haven't read yet.
I love that you're reading now, man. I know you've always read, but I love the fact that you're actually you're feeling the passion for it. I mean, like I know you've always read, but I mean, I mean, listen,
I think it's more so about making content around reading. I've always read comics and I've always read my own little niche, but I don't. Again, like I tell Rev, I haven't heard enough good things to do the modern comic gamble. There's been too much of I've seen too many long boxes. I've read stories. I've read modern books that I've did not continue because I was like, it didn't grab me enough. Mm-hmm. So but I do have a lot of stories that I can catch up on that are critically acclaimed, quote unquote, by us, the readers, that I would love to, read from an older perspective and from a first time perspective and do reviews on. And I'm really looking forward to a lot of reading good stuff. So if you know anything, please put in the chats. Like I've read Jason Aaron's Thor run,
So
Kraven's the Last Hunt, The Crow, Secret Wars, Time Runs Out, all that good stuff.
Have you read Spider-Boy?
No.
Has anybody read Spider-Boy?
No.
Dan Slott said himself, oh, God. That's what I'm talking about. Jumping the shark, man. Jumping the shark right there, No, I agree. Like I said, we talked about the writing and the books. I think the modern books a lot of them are a lot of fun right now, I mean, so I don't know. Anybody, you were saying The Crow.
Dude, it's without getting into it, it's like if you go into The Crow, if you've never read The Crow and you're older, if you go into it knowing that it's a product of its time, you got to keep that in mind. It is amazing. It is really good. And the artwork in it, I did not realize how good. I did not realize how impactful the artwork in that book was going to be. To have a director's eye like that and to be able to tell a story with images, because honestly, it's not like super dialogue heavy, but it's impactful for sure, dude. It's crazy. And the story behind it, if you know the story behind The Crow and why he wrote it, why James O'Barr wrote it, it's pretty sad. And if you know that before reading it, it's pretty heavy. Sandman is a great read. I got a few right here I was about to go into. This is Soul of the Hunter. Has anybody ever read this?
Hey, bring the screen back to just the two of us then.
Oh yeah, my bad. Oh.
There we go.
Anybody ever read this, Soul of the Hunter?
No, what is that?
I don't know.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
So, wow, okay. What's going on there?
That? Don't know. I was going to read Spider-Man Kingpin to the Death. This looked very interesting. And then something I've never read that I cannot, because I'm doing con prep, like I said, and so I'm going through like the trade paperbacks that I have, and I'm like picking out stuff that I would. Hush, Batman Hush is great. I have read that, amazing. And Batman Year 1 and Batman Year 2 I read as well. I get to read for the first time ever.
Oh.
Never read it.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm very in that.
In Watchmen, you've read Watchmen?
Oh, many times. I probably read 3 or 4 times. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. So I get to read that for the first time. Can't wait.
It's gonna make you enjoy that movie again too. You're gonna watch that movie. And
never saw the movie.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
No, I've never seen Watchmen.
Chat, please help him out. Okay, so here's the deal. The movie, I thought the movie was fucking great. The Watchmen was a great movie. The book is great, but the movie is really, really good, Johnny. And the problem is the movie it came out at the very beginning of the superhero boom, and they marketed it wrong.
Right.
They made it. They tried to make it act like it was some sort of superhero movie. It is not. Watchmen is so good. You know what?
Yeah.
I bet you a month from now, after you get done and you watch that movie, you're gonna be like, dude, how did I not know about this? Yes. Yeah, Fingers and Toes is correct. Read it, then watch it. It'll double your experience. But
for sure. Yeah.
Jesus, man, Watchmen is so good. God.
See, because with The Crow, I watched The Crow. Never saw it before. Watched it.
Night, Joe.
And then, good night, Joe. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Big time. Appreciate you.
I watched The Crow, and then I was like, dude, it's cool because I was like, I got the vibe. I like the vibe, and I could feel the time period that it came from and how it was that impactful. But there's just The Crow, the book is so poetic. Like it is extremely, extremely poetic. All right, Ferd. Thank you, man. It is extremely poetic, and it just doesn't translate as well, in my opinion, to the screen. It's very, very corny and cheesy out of context, and I think that was probably its biggest flaw that I could see. But in book form, it's definitely more digestible, that way.
John, I can't believe you haven't read Watchmen, dude. I'm sitting here listening to, and I'm just like melting inside. I cannot believe you have not read Watchmen yet.
Yeah.
I wish I had never read Watchmen, and I was you.
Right?
Like I said, we've role reversed here, man.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't read Watchmen, and now I could watch it and read it again. And just have like,
yeah,
fingers and toes is 100% correct. If that movie came out right now, it would win an Oscar. It would win all these things because of what it is, and it always was. And the book is just as good. I mean, like the book is better. Watch. Oh God, you're in for such a treat, man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know?
Invincible as well. I read. That was a good one. You know,
this is interesting. Before we get out of here, I got 4 minutes. What do you think about Rich? So CS is like throwing us some curveballs. I like these old books he's throwing our way, or she. I'm not sure. I apologize either way. But what do you think about Richie Rich comics? I don't know, man. But those books fascinate me. Like the Scrooge McDuck's one, the Mickey Mouse books. Those books fascinate me. I think it's because of nostalgia, you know. Like, but the Richie Rich ones, I know those are expensive, you know.
What do you think about Richie Rich comics? I saw Richie Rich one. Yeah, crazy prices. I mean, I think it's all about scarcity. You know, it's just about rarity. That's probably why it's going crazy. It's not like anybody's scrambling to watch a Richie Rich movie right now. It's just
Macaulay Culkin was good.
He was. It was a great movie, but so was The Page Master. Remember The Page Master?
Never saw that.
Oh my God, you got to watch. Well,
I'm gonna read the book first.
No, I don't think there is a book. And if you were to watch The Page Master at your age, you would just be like, "What the fuck am I watching?" It's 100% like at the time. Watch it in the right place, you love it. Richie Rich one's going for crazy prices because it's just a staple in comic history, and it's a scarce book to get. I think that's just my opinion. Grant Morrison, new X-Men. Yeah, the Claremont X-Men run. Read that, or at least most of it.
Doc, text me those, please. I'll read them all. I'll read them all. I'll see what's going on. You know, I'm always up for a good book. Like I said, I have the Marvel Unlimited app, and I read everything. And then what I can't get Marvel, I read it online. And then I have my modern stuff that I get from the comic book shop. So I mean, I want to read it. You know.
Stray Dogs was good.
I don't know.
It really was. Did you read it?
Yeah, I've read Stray Dogs. I read Stray Dogs because of you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great. I'm a dog lover. You're a dog hater.
Yeah, but don't listen.
No, I'm just kidding. Oh, is he in there? Is he in there?
No, I hate him. Fuck him. He's never coming in this room.
Oh.
But no. Look, you're gonna have a baby soon, and you're gonna be able to read Watchmen. But you might be able to read Watchmen before the baby comes. You know, like, and then.
I don't know, man. No, I don't think so.
Look, you guys out there in the internet. This guy is the only person I've ever met in my entire life who's absolutely ready to have a baby. He's got the room made, everything set. He said he walked into the room last night and his wife or his fiance was doing what? Tell him.
She was doing her nails, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm doing my nails." Like, "Why are you doing your nails?" She's like, "I don't know, for I guess like baby photos." I'm like, "Oh, we're that level of ready. We're to the level of ready where, we're to the level of ready of like room's ready." We're financially ready. We're comfortable in our ways. We're at the age. All the clothes, diapers are in place.
Yeah.
Let's do our nails for the baby photos. Like that's how ready we are for our baby.
God. All right, wrap this thing up. I need to get out of here.
Yes. Hit like on your way out.
Please,
we love you all. We love talking with you guys. And I don't mind too, like doing a doing guests and call-ins and stuff. If you guys, of course, we'll do like one a show, but if you want to shoot us your email and come on and chat live with us, that is always awesome.
Yeah.
For sure. And follow us both on Instagram. It's in the comment section somewhere.
I did that. Look at me, a little administrative work. I got it knocked out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but John's right. Look, if you guys want to come on, I mean, we're not exclusive. I mean, like this guy on my left, we cackle like idiots all the time without you guys out there. So if you want to come on and talk with us and you feel passionately about something, or you've got some cool news to break that we can be the first ones to break it, we'll do that too. Whatever,
That one.
Yeah.
It's but I mean,
Yeah. So so again, like I say every time, we appreciate you guys always. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today and on the rewind. Thank you guys who are watching now, tomorrow. Boom. Follow us on IGN as well. Same thing. And the Paper Chase channel. Boom.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, guys. We love you. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you on the next page.